In the 1970s, television had a way of turning actors into family members, and few faces were as familiar as Demond Wilson's. Week after week, he appeared in millions of living rooms across America, becoming part of the rhythm of everyday life. To viewers, he wasn't just an actor on a screen. He was Lamont Sanford, the grounded, responsible son trying to survive the chaos created by his unforgettable father. At the height of his fame, Wilson seemed to have everything an actor could want: popularity, stability, and a role that guaranteed long-term recognition. Yet behind the laughter and success, his life was far more complex than audiences realized. Decades later, with his passing at age 79, his story invites reflection not only on his career, but on the courage it takes to redefine success on your own terms. His journey remains one of television's most quietly powerful stories. The role that defined a generation. Demond Wilson was only 26 years old when he landed the role that would define his public image forever. Cast as Lamont Sanford on Sanford and Son, he found himself acting opposite the legendary Red Fox, a seasoned comedian with razor-sharp timing and enormous presence. The challenge was immense, yet Wilson met it with restraint and intelligence. His performance balanced Fox's explosive humor with calm, relatable realism, creating a dynamic that felt authentic and deeply human. Lamont wasn't just a punchline. He was the emotional anchor of the show. As Sanford and Son soared to the top of the ratings, drawing tens of millions of viewers weekly, Wilson became a cultural fixture. For 5 straight years, audiences watched him grow into the role, turning a sitcom into a shared national experience that still resonates through reruns today. Fame at full speed. At its peak, Sanford and Son was more than popular television. It was a phenomenon. The show regularly ranked among the highest-rated programs in the country, commanding enormous audiences and shaping pop culture in real time. With success came visibility, pressure, and expectations that few young actors are prepared to handle. Wilson was suddenly famous everywhere he went, recognized not as himself, but as the character audiences adored. While many performers dream of that level of attention, it can quietly take a toll. The demands of constant production, public scrutiny, and industry politics added weight to his success. From the outside, his career looked unstoppable. Yet fame often moves faster than reflection allows. For Wilson, those years planted questions about purpose and identity that would later reshape his life in unexpected ways, leading him down a path few Hollywood stars ever choose. Life after the hit show. When Sanford and Son ended in 1977, Demond Wilson didn't disappear. Instead, he continued working, determined to prove he was more than one iconic role. He starred in the sitcom Baby, I'm Back, followed by The New Odd Couple, which brought a fresh perspective to a familiar format. He also transitioned into film, including a notable role in Me and the Kid. These projects showed his range and commitment to growth as an actor. Still, none matched the cultural impact of Lamont Sanford, a reality many actors struggle to accept. Rather than chasing fame endlessly, Wilson began reassessing what success meant to him personally. The entertainment industry offered opportunities, but it also demanded compromise. Gradually, his priorities shifted, and the path ahead began to look very different from the one Hollywood had laid out for him. A turning point few expected. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, Demond Wilson experienced a profound personal transformation that reshaped his entire life. Away from cameras and applause, he turned inward, searching for meaning beyond professional achievement. That search led him to faith, and eventually to becoming an ordained minister. This was not a symbolic change or a passing phase, but a deep commitment that influenced every decision he made afterward. Wilson spoke openly about feeling unfulfilled during his most successful years, describing a sense of emptiness that fame could not fill. For him, spirituality offered clarity, grounding, and peace that the entertainment world never had. Choosing faith meant redefining his identity, not as a television star, but as a person seeking purpose. It was a quiet yet radical shift that would take him far from the spotlight he once occupied. Walking away from the spotlight. Perhaps the most remarkable part of Demond Wilson's story is his willingness to step away when the world expected him to stay. At a time when many actors fight desperately to remain relevant, Wilson chose a different path. He declined roles that conflicted with his values and gradually withdrew from Hollywood altogether. What followed was a nearly 20-year hiatus from acting, a decision that would terrify most performers. Yet Wilson appeared at peace with it. During those years, he focused on ministry, writing, and community work, investing his energy in helping others rather than maintaining celebrity status. His choice challenged the idea that walking away equals failure. Instead, it demonstrated that success can be measured by inner alignment rather than public approval. Wilson's absence from screens wasn't a disappearance, but a deliberate act of self-respect and conviction, returning on his own terms. After decades away from acting, Demond Wilson made a quiet return in 2023 with a role in the drama Eleanor's Bench. It wasn't a flashy comeback or a bid for renewed fame. Instead, it felt intentional and deeply personal. The project allowed him to reconnect with his craft without sacrificing the principles he had spent years living by. For longtime fans, his return was a reminder of his talent and presence, while for Wilson himself, it marked a full-circle moment. He proved that stepping away doesn't mean losing your voice forever. Sometimes, it simply means waiting until the moment feels right. That final role stands as a testament to balance, showing that it's possible to honor both personal values and creative passion. In many ways, it was a graceful closing chapter to a remarkable journey. More than a television character, while Demond Wilson will always be remembered as Lamont Sanford, his legacy extends far beyond that role. He was a man who lived multiple lives with intention: actor, minister, author, and father. His story challenges the idea that fame is the ultimate goal, offering a quieter, more meaningful definition of success. In an industry often driven by ego and excess, Wilson chose humility and reflection. He demonstrated that walking away can be an act of strength, not surrender. His work continues to bring laughter to new generations, but his life choices offer something even more enduring. By prioritizing purpose over applause, he showed that fulfillment doesn't require constant visibility. It requires honesty, courage, and the willingness to listen to your inner voice, even when it leads away from the spotlight. A life worth remembering. Demond Wilson passed away at the age of 79, leaving behind a legacy defined not just by fame, but by integrity. According to his family, his final years were spent surrounded by love, far removed from Hollywood drama. He lived a full and meaningful life, one shaped by thoughtful choices and personal growth. For audiences, he will forever be the steady presence who balanced chaos with heart, humor with humanity. For those who look deeper, he represents something rare: a public figure who chose authenticity over approval. As Sanford and Son continues to find new viewers, his performance remains timeless, reminding us why the show mattered. Yet his greatest contribution may be the example he set, proving that it's okay to walk your own path, even if it leads somewhere unexpected. His story endures as both entertainment and inspiration,